James, let's talk about the experience of doing the exit. Exit was kind of something that you came into with a vision of doing. How have you found the complexity of it?
Yeah, I think much more than I'd anticipated. At the end of the day, exit is a word that we all strive to go and finally see one day, and now it's come about. I think it was, it kind of came out of nowhere, but at the same time, it was always to be expected. But it, like I said previously to you in our meetings, I used to think it was just about profit and loss, but it's really not. It's a lot about other stuff, and the learnings and etc. has been incredible, just to sort of really understand what an exit actually means.
Scary?
Yeah, definitely scary, because you're going into an area that you have absolutely no idea around what it means. And when you think of the enterprise value and the numbers we're talking about, it's serious stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I think, having that fate at such a critical time, think of we've known each other a long time. Think about the amount of emotional conversations, the good, the bad, the ugly, that we've gone through to get the business.
Yeah, I do remember them. Yeah,
and this is what it was all for.
Yeah,
and it feels fragile. So to have that support around the exit piece is key, right?
Yeah, I think the key thing about the exit thing is it looks so daunting if you don't know what it is, and then once you walk into it, you kind of go, oh my god, it's a lot more complex than somebody just writing you a check. Mm-hmm. So from a personal perspective, how have you found to kind of learn from that? What are you going to take away with it? Because you're obviously going to do some more exits, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, you've got to listen a lot. You've got to understand the details, and you've got to trust the expert that have a job within the exit process.
Yeah.
We are not accountants. We are not lawyers. We have a purpose. We understand certain elements of it, and this is why these individuals, get paid what they do, and why they play such a vital part. And I think as entrepreneurs and as leaders, you want to control everything, and sometimes that can be quite destructive to an exit. And I think even through this exit, my mindset and the way I handled the interactions with the buyer has been different, from what it was at the start, because it is a bit of cat and mouse, right?
Yeah. And spent the money?
No, not quite yet. Kind of, yeah.
From your 5.5 odd years working with me, what are the important key takeaways that you would give to somebody who was walking into this relationship today? Mm-hmm.
I think the first one for me is just realise what your strengths and weaknesses are, and don't try and do everything. When you first joined and I got to know you, I wasn't really that confident to show you that I had weak points, and I think you as well. You were getting to know me, and I think that relationship takes time. It takes trust. That's a big word, actually. Trust.
Massive,
I think really trusting that person can be in your corner and fight for you.
Yeah.
And it takes commitment as well. I think that's the other thing you always said to me, is that I'll go into the trenches with you as long as you are in there with me. And I think it is a two-way street, and that partnership element that we talk about is so key, rather than you as a boss. Because if you look at it in the grand scheme of things, of course you're the portfolio CEO, but not once have we ever thought of each other as boss and employee. It's been a partnership. And whilst I think you'll probably admit as well, you've thought things originally that I've challenged and accepted that I am right, and vice versa.
Sure.
And that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah. I mean, no monopoly in wisdom, for sure. And I think jointly we've had some experiences, good experiences, and some interesting experiences, let's say. Yeah. I mean, from a work perspective. I think, what about the rest of the support function that RE provides you? I mean, like, for example, you've got the finance team, who are like experts at what they do, and the Daisy's operational side, all of which are not strengths of entrepreneurs as such. How do you see that?
Are you asking me to talk about operations and finance? No, of course, all jokes aside, look, it's a massive help, because again, it's alien to us, right? I mean, look, we have an appreciation of it, and when I spoke to James earlier, I said, look, the biggest learning for me was that understanding of running a business end to end, but the reality is that we're amateurs in that space, and having core experts in finance and operations, it gives you the confidence to scale your business, to grow it, to go and hire people, to actually, really, put your pedal to the metal and be confident that you can do this with the right support behind you. And I think if you're a one-man band, or if you're, owning a business as a small team, you can hit into hurdles pretty quickly. And we've been there, right?
Yeah. Sure. And from that perspective, if you were today going to look at a helicopter view of a business, any business, how comfortable are you now? based on the guy who walked into RE.
I mean, I often think if we look at the content, as I said in a previous conversation of the board meetings in month 3 versus the one we had last month, you know, it's a very, very different complexity. And, you know, I have actually personally invested in other companies now as an angel investor.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on boards, I'm offering other entrepreneurs, not just in recruitment, you know, outside of recruitment, you know, really valuable advice to help them scale their businesses. And there is no bigger tool that the portfolio has given me than business acumen. Because what is a balance sheet, working capital, cash flow, you know, debtor days, the importance of, you know, all of these things put together is critical to building a strong business. And I think there's a lot of people that have a, you know, misconception that if you're a big biller and you make lots of profit, then it's a great business. But realistically, that isn't the case, right?
Yeah, it's definitely not the case.
And look, we've got consultants that have 2 years experience that are negotiating with their clients saying, I need 30 days, not 60, because cash flow is important to us. And that doesn't happen in many businesses.
No, it doesn't. But because the impact of that is different in a business that's not planning to exit or even wants to have the discipline for it. So it's a different exercise. It's a more cash related kind of exercise.
But don't you take pride in knowing that even entry level consultants and CEOs all have that same mindset of being commercial?
Oh, 100%.
I mean, the fact that RE and our businesses can create that, you know, environment and arena for people to all have that mindset, you know, it sets them up for success, whether they stay with us or they leave. Right?
No. From our perspective, it's kind of, you know, a very big tick box. You know, seeing people develop, seeing people build their business, get comfortable with it, get it to a point where you think, wow, you know, they're running that business completely and utterly, and they just need that extra mentoring once in a while rather than operationally or otherwise. So I think that's quite an important point. Okay.